Hi everybody, it's Christianna, and I'm running a little bit late again because I forgot the microphone again. You'd think by now I'd remember, but I didn't. So welcome to Fiber at 4, and today we're talking about cats and dogs, and I'm talking about projects for your cats and dogs, or projects that have been inspired by kitties and puppies. So the reason why we're talking about this is because earlier in the week it was National Puppy Day, and then coming up is National Cat Day. So I figured this kind of split the difference, so let's celebrate both. First of all, I wasn't here last week, and I'm so sorry I missed the first day of spring, but I brought in the project I was going to show last week, and you know, everybody's talking about spring flowers. Well, where do the spring flowers come from? They come from rain. So I made a little Amigurumi raindrop. So this was a free pattern on Ravelry. Hey Mom, hey Edwina. And I think the designer was called Amigurumi Farm, but I just looked up raindrop and found this little guy, and I put in some nice blue safety eyes and embroidered a little smile on him. So that was my first day of spring project that I meant to show last week. So now this week, my crochet projects are inspired by my dogs. I've got two dogs at home. I've got a rescue who's about 45 pounds and a Chihuahua who is perpetually moving. So his weight is usually around 7 pounds. So I've got kind of opposite ends of the spectrum here. So I looked on Ravelry for some dog toy patterns. Hey Nancy, there's my brother. Hey Robert. So I found both a dog toy and a cat toy, and the cat toy is actually going to go to my Chihuahua because he thinks he's a cat. So it works out. Hey Gloria. So my crochet patterns this week, this is, they call it a Woobie, W-O-O-B-I-E. And it's supposed to be one of those long cylindrical dog toys that has the paws and the ears. Hey Allie. And I made him just a little stockier and a little shorter. The reason he turned out this way is because the pattern actually calls for half double crochets, but I prefer using single crochets to try and keep the stuffing in. The taller your crochet stitch gets, the more open your work is going to get, so I decided to do single crochets to keep that stuffing in there. And yes, Mom loves my boys. Hey Robert. So I altered the pattern a little bit, and I came up with this little guy, and he's actually great because my dogs are such opposite sizes. So my big guy can lug this around, and my little guy can pick him up by one of his appendages. What I did differently too, yes Robert, your nephews, I actually sewed the appendages on before I stuffed the critter. This way I was able to secure my tails inside the piece. So I don't know about you guys, but my dogs, when they start chewing on toys, the first thing they go for are the appendages, and they pull them off. So I was just trying to secure them better to the little toy. So this guy, the pattern is $2.50 on Ravelry. And then this one was free. This is a kitty toy, and it looks like a little mouse. Isn't that cute? So this is just a super tiny toy. And either of these guys, you could put squeakers in them. The designer of the mouse said, you know, you could put a bell in there. I know kitties like bells. Or catnip. Catnip would be great in here. And it's very similar to the raindrop, but it just has a tail. So it looks like a little mousey. And I will show you the yarns that I used for these guys later. This pattern was free on Ravelry. Just look up kitty toy or cat toy, and you'll come up with all sorts of hits. So, what do you think? Isn't he cute?
Yes.
So, I'm here with Teresa tonight, everybody. So, be sure to say hi to Teresa. She's helping me out. So, first thing I want to show you guys, dog toys and cat toys are actually also an excellent way to use up scrap yarn, especially if it's something that's maybe a little bit not quite as nice, so a little bit on the cheaper side. So something you don't feel bad about your dog or cat tearing apart. Oh, Gloria says hi, Mom says hi. So the yarn I used for the woobie, we call them bobos in my house, so this is a bobo. So what we used for him is the bamboo pop. And this is even the color that I used. And he used maybe a quarter of this, maybe a third. So you could get 3 to 4 good dog toys out of one bamboo pop. I also like the fiber content for my puppies. I'm obviously not going to make them a toy out of cashmere or silk, even though they are spoiled rotten, and I'll be the first person to admit to that. But it's a 50-50 blend of cotton and bamboo, so it's great for your dogs, for your cats. And there's no wool in it, which, you know, I don't want my dogs tearing up wool.
No, because they'll get your good yarn and tear it up.
Yeah, and then they'll get my good yarn, exactly. And also another good use for scrap yarn, my Chihuahua loves to just chase balls of yarn, so just toss a ball of yarn on the floor and see what happens. The bad part about that too is then also they think that every ball of yarn in the house belongs to them. So yeah, kind of a double-edged sword there. So bamboo pop is a DK weight yarn. There are, where did the yardage go? 292 yards in here. The pattern for the Bobo actually called for worsted weight yarn, but I wanted to use the bamboo pop because of the fiber content. So my little hint, if you find an amigurumi or a toy of some kind that you like on Ravelry, or anywhere for that matter, if you want to use a different size yarn than what the pattern calls for, look at the manufacturer's label and then go down a hook or a needle size. The reason I say that is because you want your fabric to be nice and thick so that the stuffing does not come out. So that's why I want you to go down a size instead of using the manufacturer's suggested size. So that's just something I've learned, and even though I knit and crochet tightly, I still will go down a hook size because I don't want stuffing coming out. So bamboo pop comes in tons of colors. Tonight I pulled kind of stereotypical boyish colors because I have little boy puppies at home.
What about the girls? I
don't have a girl puppy.
No, but other people have girls.
I know other people have girls, but I'm in charge. So, but this bamboo pop actually comes in amazing, amazing colors. They have the nice bright colors. They've got the neutrals like the blacks, whites, creams. They have a very lovely color called Darling Pink that makes me think of my mom's Chihuahua, who has everything in pink. So bamboo pop is $12.99 per ball, and again there's 292 yards in here, and when I made the shorter Bobo, I only used somewhere between a quarter and a third of the bamboo pop ball, so I could still get at least another 2 good toys out of there once this one gets destroyed.
They have variegated too.
They have variegated, and the variegateds are very, very pretty. We've got right now a purple one and a green one, and they are both really, really pretty. So, you'll notice on my Bobo, he does not have a face or a nose and eyes. My dogs, when they start chewing up toys, the first place they go for, other than the appendages, are the embroidered eyes and noses. So if I'm making toys for my guys, I do not embroider faces on here. So if you are making toys for your critters, kind of think of it like the way you would think about making a toy for a toddler or a baby. You don't want to be putting beads, buttons, or safety eyes on these guys, anything that could get lodged in their throats. So if you do want to put a face on them, I would recommend embroidering them. So for that, I pulled one of these bocados. So this is by Manos del Uruguay, and it's the Alegria Grande, so it is a worsted weight. And I forget how many yards are in this guy. These are $10, and there's approximately 50 yards in here, which is more than enough to embroider faces on your little toys. And because it is worsted weight, the embroidery goes a lot faster. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like pulling out my darning needles. I don't like embroidering. I don't like sewing if I don't have to on my critters. I love doing embroidery on my embroidery, but so the bocados are a great size. I pulled the coal colorway because it's the closest to a black, so you could use that for the nose and the eyes. But this comes actually in a rainbow of colors, and it is super, super soft yarn. And at $10, I don't feel quite as guilty when my boys tear it apart. So those are the bocados, worsted weight, 50 yards at $10 even. So all of the products we're showing you tonight are on the website under the shopping category at the Fiber at 4 subcategory. And for those of you who may have looked ahead of time, you'll notice that I put row counters on there. And you're probably sitting there thinking, why did you put row counters on there? Well, there's a reason why my Bobo's a little chubby. It's because I was not counting my rows and I got a little ahead of myself. So I'm highly suggesting if you need a certain size of your doggy and kitty toys to use a row counter so you can keep your place in the pattern. So we've got 3 different types of row counters right now. I can't hold on to them tonight. So the first is the Universal Knit Counter by Susan Bates, and this guy's $3.99. And you just turn the little key at the end of there to move your rows forward and backward. And then both of these guys are $3.99. So this is the Susan Bates Knit Counter, and it's essentially the same thing. It just doesn't have the key on it. So you turn the little spokey wheels at each end. And then this is the one my grandma uses. And the product name is really fun to say. This is the Clover Kacha Kacha. And it is $9.99. And you push the middle part at the top to move the row counting forward. So that guy also has the little wheels at the side, so when you're done, you can move it forward manually to reset the counter. So the Kacha Kacha is $9.99. And the Susan Bates Knit Counter and Universal Knit Counter are $3.99 each. So again, if you're trying to achieve a certain size on your little toys and you're using a pattern, use a row counter so you can keep your place.
The bigger one's less likely to get lost.
Teresa just raised a good point. The bigger one is less likely to get lost. So a couple of years ago, our dear friend Heather showed us the joy that is felted dog leashes. So if you look on Ravelry and find a felted dog leash pattern that you like, whether it be knit or crochet, you knitters need to pick up a hook, try crocheting. I have a couple yarns here that we prefer for felting. So first of all, I've got the shepherd's wool, which again, you guys, we are no longer able to get this, so once it sells out, it's gone. We can't get any more. So if you want to get your hands on this, I recommend you do it really soon. Our supply is starting to wane really big time. So the shepherd's wool is $15.95 per hank, and it is a worsted weight. And I know what you're thinking, 100% feltable wool. I bet it's scratchy. I bet it doesn't feel good. This is actually super, super soft. And it's really nice to work with. I just picked up some myself that I'm going to make a pillow out of. And there are 250 yards here, so because it is feltable, if you're using this for something you don't want to felt, make sure you do not put this in the washing machine. You do not put it in the dryer. Hand wash, lay flat to dry. If you want it to felt, then you can put it in the washing machine on high heat so that it'll felt. So I pulled 2 colors tonight. I guess I'm going with a blue and green theme tonight. This is mint, and this guy is turquoise. And I love these colors. The colors are so saturated and so pretty. So that would be great for a feltable dog leash. Also too, we have the Lamb's Pride Bulky. This is by Brown Sheep Company out of Nebraska. So they're our neighbors. Yes. And Lamb's Pride Bulky is, it's a size 5 yarn, so it's a step above like an Aran weight, so it's pretty thick, and it'll work up really, really fast. And the fiber content is 85% wool and 15% mohair, and they are $14.99 per skein. So tonight I have pulled Gray Heather, Deep Charcoal, and Amethyst. I don't even have to look at the name for this one. The only thing about these is some of the colors I have been told don't felt very well. The whites typically don't felt well, so if you want to felt with this, you may want to get one of the colors, whether it's a neutral or a brighter color. And I can't imagine you'd need more than a skein to make a dog leash. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never made a dog leash myself because my boys are extremely tough, so we have to buy store-bought dog leashes. But this is also great for feltable projects like hats, the knitted clogs. I think the hat moved over there somewhere. So this is again another yarn. If you don't want it to felt, it needs to be hand washed and laid flat to dry. If you want it to felt, go ahead and throw it in the washing machine. So again, Lamb's Pride bulky, 85 wool, 15 mohair, 125 yards for $14.99. And here is an example of what you can do with the Lamb's Pride bulky. This is a felted hat. Isn't that adorable? I love the brim on it.
It's really cute.
So when you make a felted project, I don't know, I apologize if you guys know this information already, but I'm going to share anyway. You make the project, you knit it or crochet it absolutely humongous, and then you put it in the washer or you can hand felt it in the sink. It just takes a lot longer. And a project that started out this big is now this big. And this is really weather resistant. I bet this would be super, super warm and great for wintertime wear. So that's cute. Thank you, Teresa. So, moving on, my little mousy guy. So, I'm willing to bet this guy probably didn't even use 50 yards. I used him, for those of you who watched Fiber at 4 a couple weeks ago, I showed you a pot holder that I made out of Cotton Supreme yarn. This little guy is made from the leftovers of that pot holder, and I still have a big ball left. So I used the Cotton Supreme, and this colorway is called Ecru. So there's my little mousy guy. And this is a worsted weight, 100% cotton. There are 180 yards here, and it's $10.95 per hank. So if you're making toys for your dogs or cats, again, you can pick any color you want. I don't think it's going to hurt their feelings.
No.
But I like colors that kind of hide the dirt a little bit more, so the gray I think would be fantastic. I just made this guy out of the ecru because that's what I had. So I think the gray would hide dirt, it would hide slobber a little bit more. And so this guy is called Silken, and that is it's a really nice gray. And I love cotton for the dog toys. I love cotton for pot holders, for washcloths. I'm not a big sweater maker with cotton yarn, but it's doable. It's great for people who have sensitivities to animal fibers. And the Cotton Supreme by Universal is actually another super, super soft yarn. And it's easy to work with. It doesn't split very much as we are used to with cotton yarns. So this is a great yarn to use for your little critters. I gave this to my Chihuahua to see if he liked it. He kind of sniffed at it, poked at it, and then walked away. I was heartbroken. I'm like, you get back there and play with that toy. I made it just for you.
If it was a cat, you could rub the stuff in catnip.
Catnip, yeah. The designer actually said you can put catnip in it, or like a little jingle bell.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet too, you could probably run a thread through it and hang it from one of those poles so you can make it bounce up and down so the kitty can chase it. So, Cotton Supreme yarn. We love our pets here, in case you didn't notice. Teresa, you have a cat and a dog, right?
I have 2 cats.
2 cats?
And 1 dog.
Uh-huh.
My cats are bigger than the dog.
Your cats are bigger than the dog. Your cats are probably bigger than my dog. My Chihuahua is about yay big, but he's really tall for a Chihuahua. And he's kind of your stereotypical Chihuahua. He loves to bark. He's incredibly vocal. But he's sweet and I love him. So another cotton yarn that would be great for puppy toys or knitting for yourself. This is the Pima Soft by Berroco, and this is one of the newer yarns that they introduced this year. It has a really neat ply to it, so it has this twisted texture. It is really, really soft.
Very soft.
And this is a hand wash only if you do use it for yourself. For the dogs, you know, I just let them play with the toys until they trash them and then I throw them away. But this was actually brought out with mosaic knitting in mind, so you can make some amazing mosaic projects from this. So it's not just for puppies. But this is $9.99. It is a DK weight yarn, and there are 124 yards here. It's really soft. We got mostly primary colors for the Pima Soft, but if you see a color you like in a Berroco yarn, we can order it for you. So what we have on this shelf is not necessarily all we can get. We can definitely get more. So this guy, they have it in a wide range of colors, mostly kind of on the pastel-y side. They do have a red that's pretty bright, but it's very spring and summer looking. And oh yeah, my mom says that my dog being vocal is an understatement. So that is the Pima Soft by Berroco, and it is a DK weight, 124 yards and $9.99. Alrighty, so if we want to talk about cat and dog themed items that aren't necessarily for the cats and dogs, please don't give this yarn to your kitty. We've got in our kit department what we're calling the kitty cowl kit, and it comes with instructions for either the crocheted or knit kitty cowl. So this is the hair kitty cowl that my mom designed, and then this is the dancing kitty toes cowl that I designed. So this is the crochet guide. So we've got the kits in these nice little organza bags, and the pattern is pre-printed, so we've got both the knit and crochet patterns in here. There's the knit one, and there is the crocheted one. And each of these kits come with, I want to say 50 gram and 20 gram hanks of herd of cats yarn. And this is more than enough to make either of the cowls. You can make either the knit or the crochet. You can't make both out of these little skeins. And it also comes with 10 kitty stitch markers, 5 in gold, 5 in silver. Right there, yep. And these are fingering weight yarns. It is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And comes with the matching kitty. So this yarn is dyed by Allie of Herd of Cats Yarn. And Allie's based out of Denver, and thank you, Teresa. When we buy yarn from her, she takes part of the proceeds and donates it to the Denver Dumb Friends League to help support these cats until they can find their forever homes. So not only are you buying amazing yarn when you buy one of these kits, but you're also supporting a great cause, because, you know, we love our animals. And Allie said that she actually started dyeing cat yarn because she just couldn't take all the kitties home with her. And so that was the green and gray colorway. We've also got this in a gold and gray, so kind of like a tabby cat colorway there. And then we also have blue and gray, and I love her blue. The blue and the gray just look so well together, great together, because they're kind of a similar tone. How much is in the kit? So we've got a 50 gram hank and a 20 gram hank. And the yardage isn't on there. Let me look on the pattern. The pattern will tell me what the yardage is. So the 50 gram hank has 220 yards. It does not say what the 20 gram hank has, but I'm willing to bet it's probably about 50 to 75 yards. Oh, and it's fingering weight, and it's super, super soft. Monies.
I was going to ask.
Monies. So the kit is $34.99, and it does come with the instructions for both knitting and crocheting, the 2 minis, and the stitch markers. And there's also a postcard in here with a little bit of information about Allie and her business and what they do to help support the Denver Dumb Friends League. I got it, thanks. So we've got the blue, the green, and the yellow. All 3 of them come with gray. And then speaking of Allie, Allie also has this yarn that's called Meow Melange, and this is a fingering weight yarn, and it is another 85-15 blend, so superwash merino and nylon. And there's about 400 meters in these skeins, so we're looking at about 420 yards. And fingering weight, did I mention it was fingering weight? And she dyes each individual skein after, again, another kitty at the Denver Dumb Friends League. So that is Faith. So these are listed on the website by the kitty names. So this is the Faith colorway. And fingering weight again, and these are $36 per skein. And this is a super, super soft blend. I have some of it at home that I want to make into a sweater. I just haven't found the right pattern yet. So that's Faith. Oh, and this is Blinks. I love Blinks. If I weren't allergic to cats, I would take Blinks home. He is so cute. So Blinks is kind of, it's a white and dark gray blend. Again, oh, it's so squishy and soft. If I can't cuddle the kitty, I can at least cuddle the yarn. And this one, I was really excited about when Allie showed us. This guy is called Sushi, and I love the fact that the gray's kind of a bluish gray, and the contrasting colors are almost pink. And it's such a pretty color blend.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. So when she showed me the sample of this, I'm like, we've got to get this color. I love this color. So again, that is the Meow Melange. That is fingering weight. There's 400 meters in here, so again, about 420 yards, and that's $36 per hank. And these are just 3 of the colorways. I think I've got about 15 up on the wall right now. Those are gorgeous yarns. I know, Allie, aren't they? I love her yarn, and she is such a cool person. I hope one of these days you all get to meet her because she is so sweet. In fact, actually, shameless plug here, she's going to be at Yarn Fest. So for those of you who are able to make it to Yarn Fest in April, it's April 20th through 23rd in Loveland. Allie will be there, so you should stop by and say hi to her. So last time Allie visited me, I got into trouble because I wanted one of everything that she had. But here's where I really got into trouble. She brought in these amazing minis. This is the same fiber blend as the Meow Melange, so it's a fingering weight 85-15 blend. These are $36, and there are 5 minis in here. There's 80 meters per mini, so about 90 yards per mini. And we've got them in 5 colorways now because the 6th one sold out. And I love these kitties.
Garfield Buster.
Mm-hmm. So she calls them her kittens. So these skeins are the kittens, and these guys are the cats. So I just love oh. Hi, Stephanie. I love the different colors that she has in here. And when she brought these in to show me, I asked, well, do you have a pattern suggestion for these? And she said yes. She said straight as an arrow, which would use the 5 minis with 1 skein of the full fingering weight skein. So I looked it up on Ravelry, and it's really cute. So again, it's called Straight as an Arrow, and check it out. It's a really fun pattern. It would look great with these guys. So again, the kittens, the mini skeins, there are 5 minis in here for $36. Hi, how are you? Good. So next I'm moving on to some fun gifty items that have doggy themes to them. So we have these cards from a company called Bewilderbeast based out of the United Kingdom, and they are such sweet people. But these cards are absolutely hilarious. They are $4.99 each, and I've got 3 here that are puppy themed. So this, I think, is by far the staff favorite. It says Labracadabrador, and it's a Labrador dressed up as a magician. And then the Border Terrier. It looks a little bit like our bandit. and it's a terrier riding a skateboard, and he's wearing a helmet. Good for him, right? And then this one says, whip it real good. And it's a little whippet wearing a little sweater. So those are $4.99, and these are on the Fiber at 4 shopping category, but we have more designs too. They're in the gift department. So for those of us who have dogs or have friends who love dogs, the artwork on these are actually, it's really, really pretty. These are frame-worthy cards here. Then I have an enamel pin. This is by Rough House Prints, and it is a Frenchie Bulldog. And I'm flying solo for a minute, so I'm going to get as close as I can to the camera. Isn't he cute? So he is $14.99, and this is some great flair for your knitting bag. And then we also have some more enamel pins. This is from Justine Ma. These are also $14.99, and they're beagles. So we've got a beagle and a potted plant. So cute.
It's so cute.
And then this is a beagle dressed as a hot dog, which I find kind of funny. You'd think they'd want to put a dachshund dressed as a hot dog. But these are also $14.99, and we've got the nice locking pin backs on the back of these guys. I was wondering what was hitting me down there, and it's the cord from the microphone.
It's not our puppy?
I left my puppy at home.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and if you guys haven't seen on Facebook, last Monday, Gail and I met with Yumiko Alexander, and all three of us brought our puppies to show on the Zoom call. So check out Facebook and see that picture, because the dogs are being so cute. This is the On Point pin. It is a Husky Puppy, and he is so cute.
Adorable.
It's adorable. It reminds me, my neighbors have a Husky. And funny story, true story, but funny. My husband was at home one day, and our big dog was just barking and barking and barking. One of our neighbor's dogs, the Husky, jumped a 6-foot fence into our backyard. So he had to bring the puppy back home, but something startled the dog. I think it was like a car backfiring or something. And the dog hopped a 6-foot fence into our backyard. Wow. So for those of you who are familiar with Huskies, yes, they dig, and yes, they can definitely jump a 6-foot fence. But nonetheless, they are adorable. Going off camera a little bit here. So for those of you who love your kitty cats, we have these wonderful stitch markers from Firefly Notes. We've got them in 3 different sizes. I just pulled 2 tonight. The medium-sized ones, which you can kind of see through the wrapping there. It's kind of like a wax paper wrapping. So that's the medium-sized one, and it is $9.99. And the packaging looks like that. It's a little girl holding her cats. So it's silver kittens. And then I've got the large size here. This would probably fit up to about a size 15 knitting needle. You can see that guy right there, covering him just a little. There we go. So this one, there's the artwork on the front, and this one's just called Silver Cats. So the larger ones are $12.99. And the medium-sized ones are $9.99. The medium ones could probably, looks like they'd fit up to about a size 13 knitting needle, and these would probably go up to a 15 or 17, the larger ones. So those are the Firefly stitch markers. And next is one of my favorite items, and one of these days I'm going to find the time to make him. This is the Snoopy Amigurumi for those of us who love our dogs and love Snoopy, which I love both. So the Snoopy kit is by Stitch and Story, and I made the Hello Kitty one for Christmas, and their instructions are really, really well written. The kit comes with a crochet hook. It's a nice wooden crochet hook. I used it for a little while, but found that it kind of slowed me down a little bit, so I ended up switching back to my ergonomic crochet hook. But it is a nice hook. So the kit comes with the wool, the hook, stuffing, the instructions, and online video tutorials. And there is Snoopy right there. He is where's the price tag? Aha, he is $64.99. I'm trying to find finished measurements. He is 19 centimeters tall by 9 centimeters wide, so that would probably be about 7 inches, 8 inches tall. I think.
It's been a long time
I did that, yeah. But yeah, it comes with everything you need to make Snoopy, except for a locking stitch marker, which I recommend using when you make amigurumi, so you know where the beginning of your round is.
And a row counter?
And well, if you follow the instructions, bye Stephanie.
Bye.
If you keep track of where you are in the instructions, you may not need a row counter. I like to put like a sticky note underneath the row that I'm working on, or highlighter tape if you have that. But yeah, you could use a row counter to keep track. And one of these days I am going to make him, and I am going to bring him in. He's kind of gotten low on my priority list. It's very naughty of me, but I love Snoopy. So for those of you who love Snoopy, this is a great idea. I would not give this to my dog.
Don't you have a list of things you've got to do?
I've got a list of things I got to do, and Snoopy just keeps going further and further down on the list.
Okay.
But I will be making Snoopy one of these days. And he's probably, I would say, an advanced beginner amigurumi. You would definitely want a little experience before you tackle Snoopy. Alrighty. So next I've got the Edwards Menagerie books. So this is by Carrie Lord of Toft. Let me see if I can find puppies in here. These books are actually fantastic because she gives you instructions on how to use the different sizes of yarn. So she's done all the work for you. So she's got everything from sport weight up to bulky weight in here, and which size hook you need to use. Edwards Menagerie books are written in United Kingdom terminology, so keep in mind when you make them, when they say double crochet in US terminology, that is a single crochet. And the Stitch and Story kits too, I believe, are written in UK terminology, so just keep an eye on that. Juno the Siamese cat. Okay, let's find Juno. There is Juno. The fun thing about these Toft creatures too is the body shape is the same for all the creatures. She just changes the size of the appendages and shape of the appendages to vary the critters. May you speak of the blue shawl behind you? Of course I can. So this was, we had a yarn tasting yesterday, and this was one of the leftover pieces that didn't get put away. Totally my fault. This is the Waikaloa beach shawl, and it is knit, and it is made out of Coastal by Elemental Effects. And I forget the exact fiber content, but it's wool, mulberry, silk, and flax. So it's mostly wool. And the pattern is on Ravelry. It's actually a Romy Hill pattern. And we are going to be making more kits of this guy. I think we've got a couple still left in stock, but we'll be making some more. And it just takes 1 hank each of the Elemental Effects, which is a sport weight yarn. So Edwina, I hope that answers your question. It's pretty. It's definitely summery. It's a smaller shawl, probably about, I'd say 14 inches deep by 4 feet long, give or take. So it's a smaller shawl. I can hear my microphone dragging after me. So the Edwards Menagerie book is $22.99. Now if you go to the website, you're going to see the Edwards Menagerie book, but you're also going to see one that says Edwards Menagerie Slight Imperfection. The difference is that this guy is undamaged. There's no damage to him at all, so that's the Edwards Menagerie copy. The slight imperfection ones have slight imperfections. There's nothing wrong with the book itself. The patterns are just fine. They just came to us with some slight damage on the corners. So these would probably be ones that you want to keep yourself and not give as a gift because there is a little bit of damage. So if you see those on the website, that is the only difference between Edward's Menagerie and Edward's Menagerie Slight Imperfection. And we do have a picture on the website so you can kind of see where the damage is. There's nothing wrong with these books. They're just not quite as attractive as the undamaged one. And last but not least, we've got Edward's Menagerie, the new collection. Thanks. This guy is 16.99 pounds. So Teresa is going to go look him up on the website to see what the US equivalent to that is. But that one has more patterns kind of built upon the same body type and everything from Edward's Menagerie. Carrie Lord, too, does an amazing job of organizing the animals by skill level. So if you're a very, very beginner crocheter, she's got the creatures like Emma the bunny that are a little less technically involved. She has a 1, 2, and 3 level, and even the level 3 creatures are not very, very hard. It's more like an advanced beginner. $19.95 US dollars. Okay, thank you. So the new collection is $19.95 United States dollars. And
I like the snow leopard on there.
The snow leopard. Oh, that is adorable. Oh, there's a leopard and a snow leopard. Oh my gosh. So the easier creatures have just basic body shaping and embroidered eyes, whereas the more complicated creatures, she's got horns, color changes, and this, oh my gosh, there's a Clydesdale in here.
Oh, I want that.
But this one, I believe, had a few more puppies in it, so let's look. So she's got, for those of you who don't know who Edward is Carrie's son, and she designed these for him when he was a little baby, and now he's 10 years old. So, can't believe it was that long ago. Let's see here. Oh, they have a chinchilla. I know I'm supposed to be looking for dogs and cats, and I get excited by the chinchilla. Well, you know what? I'm going to show your snow leopard. How about that?
That's good.
Okay.
There's some sort of ox or water buffalo.
Yeah, there's an ox in here. Gloria, the red panda. What page was it? 114? A red panda?
No, this one here.
That's a lynx.
Oh, a lynx.
Okay, there is Teresa's snow leopard. Her name is May. So the techniques in these books, and even in the Toft kits too, they're absolutely amazing, and the skills are very, very transferable. Again, United Kingdom terminology, so if you're looking at this book, be sure to remember that when they say double crochet, they mean single crochet in United States terminology.
Okay, so what's a double crochet in?
A double crochet in United Kingdom, a double crochet is a single crochet. But when they say treble crochet, then it's our double crochet.
Okay.
So yeah, it's sort of like you take the term and then you minus 1, and that's the United States equivalent of it.
Okay.
So that is all the product we have to show you guys tonight. So again, this guy is called a Woobie, so search WOOBIE on Ravelry for this pattern. And be sure to count your rows so yours doesn't turn out quite as chubby as mine. My poor big guy can barely get his mouth around that thing. And then this is just a simple little mouse, so it's kind of the raindrop shape. And actually how they did it is really cool. You do a chain, and then you work a single crochet into the chain up to the second to last one, and then you do 8 single crochets in the last chain, and that's what creates the round bottom of the mouse. So it's all in one piece. You don't have to sew the tail on. So that is just a little mouse toy for a cat. And then the raindrop is, I believe it's Amigurumi Farm is the designer. And they have a really neat tutorial about an invisible decrease, which I did not do until almost the end of the project. And we are wrapping up National Crochet Month here at the shop. We are doing one last Facebook Live video on the 30th, where it will be me and Andy, and actually Amber from the Crochet Guild will be joining us too. And it will be an Ask Me Anything About Crochet Facebook Live. So if you have any questions, be sure to tune in. If you can't attend the live, you can email me the questions. It's Christianna@longmontyarn.com. So any questions you may have about technique, about projects, let us know. And we're probably going to do a few small demonstrations too. So that is 10:30 Wednesday morning. We're also going to be drawing the winner from our trunk show. Actually, winners. We've got some amazing prizes to give away on Wednesday. And that will kind of be the end of Crochet Month. I know it's kind of sad. I can't believe how fast March went by.
Very fast.
Very fast. We've also got Learn to Crochet starting this Thursday. We've got a bunch of new classes, knit-alongs and crochet-alongs listed on the website, so be sure to keep checking it out. And am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Okay. Oh, for those of you who did submit items for the in-person crochet trunk show, you can start picking those up on Thursday the 31st. You'll just need to check them out with the staff. So I hope you all have a lovely evening, and we will see you next week when the theme is gonna be hooray, it's almost opening day for us baseball fans. So we'll see you next Sunday. Have a lovely evening, everybody.
Yes,
Bye.
bye.